these are eyeshadow palettes that are perfect if you're in autumn. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. I wanted to do a little mini series as part of eyeshadow palette month here because I just had a color analysis done, so I'm very much like in the color analysis game. I posted that video on my other channel, so if you want to see my result and hear me chat about it, then I'll leave that linked in the description box down below. I'm a true spring, apparently, and I go over the entire thing in that video, so you can go and have a look if you want to know and like see the different flags on me and stuff, because I did film everything for you. But I thought it could be fun to sort of share eyeshadow palette recommendations that maybe, like me, you've just had a color analysis done, or maybe you already know your color season, or maybe you just want to play around with different color seasons and like what things look like on you. And to sort of share recommendations like, hey, if you have this palette lying about and you are this sort of roughly this season, then have a look at these because these might be beautiful on you. Judging, like going by what I now know about color analysis. I'm not an expert by any means. Some of these picks you may not agree with at all. And I try to stay away from like obvious like things I like to wear in the fall time and really just look at like the more, like with autumn, it's supposed to be warm, muted with like a brown undertone very often. And then there are some deeper tones as well, depending on what type of autumn you are. So I don't have palettes specifically for like subtypes within the autumn season, but I do think that if you fall anywhere in the autumn spectrum, these may be tones that look really beautiful on you. Just judging by color analysis season things. I think, first things first, the Nomad Haunted palette, Haunted Europe. I think that this has some excellent things in. It's a great fall color story to begin with. I love the packaging this has, but I also think the tones in this are very autumnal in the sense of color analysis seasons. It's very muted and like there are these murky tones that have these brown undertones in it, which I think is why this is going to work quite well if you do have a color analysis done and it falls within the autumn season. Not sure this is still available, but it just gives me an excuse to rave about an eyeshadow palette I love. I don't need any excuses to rave about eyeshadow palettes I love, but this is a good one. I need to use this again. Maybe this also needs to go onto my like eyeshadow palettes I need to use again pile. I've got some smaller things here as well. These Kaleidos palettes you can still get. This is Flowing Haze. And I like this because it's just so, like, the murkiness of this, I think, is really perfect if you have an autumn color analysis result. Because these are so, like, they're purples, but they're very brown. You know what I mean? So I thought that was like, that could go really nicely with, like, the deeper end of the spectrum for, like, a muted autumn or something like that. The Cashmerie? I don't think they still do this, though. I just had a bit of a Google search to see which Viseart palettes were still available after someone commented on a recent video I did about my Viseart palette collection. They're like, oh, I can't find this palette, I can't find this palette. I'm like, oh, what's going on there? But this, it's very quintessential autumn, I think. If you are an autumn in color season analysis, I think this is pretty spot on when it comes to the kind of colors and tones that look good on you. So I do know they do different renditions that look very similar to this. I can leave my Viseart video down below. I have several palettes, actually my own collection, that can almost like substitute this. So you don't need this one in particular, but Viseart I think is a really good brand to find some like autumn colors for your neutral looks, if that's what you're looking for. But if you're in autumn, then of course you can also pull off the very warm, spicy things. And one of the warmest, spiciest things in my makeup collection is this Nabla Analogue palette. This is one of their Cutie palettes. This is that fiery, spicy sort of warm tones that I think go really, really well with an autumn season, especially if you're like a deep autumn. I think that's going to work really well. Again, for like the softer tones, because, you know, autumn is also a spectrum, the Over the Path by Clio, I think can work really well. It's perhaps not brown toned enough, though, now that I'm looking at it again. But I do think this can be really nice if you are someone who just likes softer things, or maybe if you are a soft or a muted autumn and you need that more toned down version and you don't need the shades to be too saturated, then I think the Over the Path can be quite nice, because this is actually has, like, this palette has quite a bit of warmth to it when you start playing with the shades on your eyes. And I think it's also going to determine, like, depending on your undertone, of course, or like what kind of foundation shades you're wearing and stuff. This I just wanted to feature because I was like, yep, this is the murkiest, like, brown tone color story I possibly now have. I'm testing this one out this month though, so I haven't played with it yet, so I cannot attest to the quality of this, but color story wise, the Noiricorn Candy Puppet with Freya collab that they did, this is such a autumn color analysis season kind of palette if I had any. These, like, rosy tones are so perfect for, like, a true autumn. So, so beautiful. And everything is like this murky brown, brownish gray under. Oh, it's so beautiful. So, so beautiful. And then we have the Sigma Ambiance palette. Again, for the warmth, the spiciness that we also find in the autumn palette. I think this is essentially, if you take, like, the neutral tones out of the flags for autumns, then this is pretty much what you're going to end up with. It's got some beautiful golds in here, these warm, spicy oranges. Such a good color story, I think, if you are a, like, really nice warm autumn season. If you like those warm tones, I think you're gonna like this. But we also need some colorful things, of course, and I thought, this. No longer available. It's by Glamlite. It's the Friday the 13th Camp Crystal Lake eyeshadow palette, but I thought, yeah, I can see this matching up with the colors in the, like, autumn flags as well, especially these, like, murky blues and greens that this has. It's got this, like, brown, sort of, especially, like, this khaki tone as well. I think that can go really, really well. And also these purples, they're not too gray leaning either. They have quite a bit of brown to them, so I think that can work too. The Green Goddess by Bella Beauty Bar. Now, granted, some of the greens in here have a bit of gray in them, but it's especially in these, like, neutrals that it has, and then combining them with the green tones, I think that this can be really, really beautiful, because it's sort of like murky, but murky in a good way, and it's got, like, good saturation in the shades as well, so I think this, if you are an autumn season, is going to look stunning. I've only just reviewed this for you guys, but the Huldra from Singe, really beautiful as well. I think if you have an autumn color analysis, this is just, this is you to a T almost if you have an autumn color analysis result. I mean, these are the shades that you're going to be told to wear quite a bit. Like, these brown tones, these greens, these lovely purpley tones. Everything is this, like, murky brown. Even these browns have green in them, just so you know. So, I think that's a good one. This one is the Ophiuchus. I believe that's how you pronounce it, from Terramoons. Not sure you can still get it, but, I mean, if there's a fall color story, if I had any, essentially it's like warm tone neutrals with a pop of greeny teal, which we know I all love in terms of eyeshadow, especially in the fall time. This is another one I need to go back to soon, come to think of it. But yeah, it's got a, like, this isn't a gold, it's got this pinky green sort of flash. It's got these teals and then these grungy, murky green tones and these fiery, orangey neutrals. So beautiful. I think this is going to be really, really beautiful on you if you want more intense, more glam eyeshadow if you're in autumn. And then I think the best sort of, like, neutral palette if you're in autumn, the Soft Glam from ABH, which I think you can still buy. But this just, I mean, this is giving, like, those muted rosy tones that you see a lot within the autumn palettes. This just gives you every single shade of a muted rose tone if you had any. So I think that's why this one is also an excellent pick if you are an autumn in color analysis and you needed some inspiration. Again, like I said in my video that I did over on the other channel, I don't think that color season analysis necessarily extends to makeup perfectly, and there are other ways of looking at color within the realm of makeup to like use a color to contrast with your eye color to make them pop, which is not really a thing within color analysis, season analysis, but I think there is a baseline that if you want things to like perk you up or like feel your best or whatever it is that you're looking for, I think there is a certain level of merit to it, even though there are also plenty of caveats. But hey, I hope this is helpful, and I want to do a video for each 4 of the main seasons. So I'm going to do a winter version, I'm going to do a spring version, and I'm going to do a summer version of this video in the next couple of weeks. So I hope you like to stay tuned for more. I'm currently doing daily videos here on the channel, so I hope you like to stay tuned for that. I'm also hosting a giveaway, which you can find linked in the description box down below. So if you want to share your 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes with me in the meantime, then I would love to hear from you. And then, yeah, that's it for me for today. Thanks so much for watching again, guys. Bye-bye.